Calvin Castine in what is really beautiful downtown Essex, New York. Right at the heart of the hamlet in Essex County. And we're gonna have a very sophisticated show for you today. We're going to an art gallery, and with any luck at all, maybe one of the artists will actually be on hand. We are inside with the Adirondack Art Association exhibit is up, and our young and old alike. Wait a minute. Sid Couchey's artwork is here, and as luck would have it, so is Mr. Sid Couchey. He's partaking in one of his favorite activities, looking at his artwork. These are the series he first saw back in Plattsburgh. Champy through the Masters. There's a copy of one of these sits in my office. Toulouse-Lautrec. Now Toulouse-Lautrec would have painted Champy. So these prints are available here at the gallery, along with artwork from a whole lot of other folks. And here is a picture that Sid did of Frontier Town.
300 people employed. He has a big one hanging up over there.
Oh, the original?
Oh my goodness. I was talking to the schoolhouse.
Does this one have a name here?
Is there a name for this?
What's this?
Yeah, what's this one say?
Champion Friends.
Champion Friends.
Is that what you meant?
What a clever name. How did you ever come up with that?
Look at the lobster.
That doesn't look like a friend to me here. Lobsters. So all these prints are available.
Oh, look at that one.
That's inside an ice shanty.
There's Sid at Bewoga Bay. Sid ice fishing here, and Champy comes to join him.
These are all the
original.
All the Adirondack attractions, theme parks. I have a copy of that sitting in my office.
1,000 animals. And a lot of them are gone. It's kind of
make believe land gone.
Yep.
Some old geezer comes in, I ask him how many of those they remember.
All right, now this is in.
The originals that were here on exhibit have been sold. There is this one remaining here. This is Frontier Town in North Hudson. And Remembering Frontier Town by Sid Couchey. Got an extra grand sitting around. A true collector's item. Frontier Town no longer there. And this is a piece of work done probably in the area of 40 or more years ago by Sid Couchey, who is, as we're taping this, in these other ones are not Sid's drawings or artwork. We're taping this on August 18th, 2011. Sid is 92 years old now and still going strong. This is the brand new one here, right?
Yes, this is Birth of Champy.
The Birth of Champy.
Never before seen. I had to go back 1,200 years BC.
To get it?
Yeah, to get it.
Is he the last? What is this species called? Does the species have a name for the Champy?
Well, the father's name was Lionel.
Lionel?
And the mother's name is Mabel.
Lionel and Mabel Champ?
Plesiosaurus.
Plesiosaurus?
Well, and the baby, of course, is Champ.
Oh, I see. So there was never a young female Champy for him to
looks like it.
Apparently not, huh?
Yeah, they're kind of elderly to be fathers. And
Uh-huh.
Picture.
Well, we're very fortunate you were there to capture that, Sid. Jumped in his time machine and went back and
See there more.
captured that moment. Some smaller Sid Champy portraits available. There's Sid and Champy. And Champy going for a ride. Looked like he was Grand Marshal of a parade. So Sid Couchey artwork on exhibit here in beautiful downtown Essex in the summer of 2011. Okay, we have moved from the Adirondack Art Association Gallery in beautiful downtown Essex. We're now sitting at home and Sid is relaxing. It's one of his favorite hobbies. Is that correct?
absolutely.
Now, when did you do that, the birth of Champy? When was that? That's your latest painting?
That is the latest thing I've done, and it only had to be not more than a month and a half ago, I believe. And I did the original, and but I didn't want to sell that because I wanted to make prints to sell. So what you saw the original, I think, hanging up.
I didn't see the original there.
Oh, well, it was way off in the corner where it wasn't in sight anyway. But anyway, these are actually the latest things I've done. One other thing was just prior to this, and that is Beggs Point is a big part of Essex. Beggs Park. Donald Beggs and his wife. And he was a world traveler, had his own boat that was worthy of going overseas, and he used to go from here, take his boat, sometimes his wife until she died. Anyway, and he would cruise the Grecian Islands in Scotland and all that. And that is the second latest thing that I've done. Maybe Ruth can get a copy of that to show you. But yeah, those two are the latest.
So you're still drawing stuff this summer, or what are you doing?
Well, I wasn't drawing anything when I first came up from our sons in South Carolina. Somebody stuck, it felt like a knife in my lower back. And I guess it turned out to be a knotted muscle or something, near as I could tell. And it was just a pain, unending pain. It just would not go away. And that went on for a couple of months almost, I think. So just in the last, I would say, 3 weeks, did it even begin to turn around. And then in the last week, it's really, I'm back about 4 days ago, back on the drawing board. And I had a show to the Westport the railroad station there, and but it was all stuff that I had accumulated over the winter because I wasn't able to do any new stuff for that. So, but anyway, so now we're back on the board and happy about it.
And those creative juices are flowing again.
That is right.
Now, a year ago, as I'm sure you remember, you collaborated with a young artist, a fellow named Abe Eichler, and I don't know if is that visible there? Yeah, okay. Abe drew the picture of Sid, and then Sid drew a Champy in the background, and this is a collaboration of two artists.
Yes. Is that is me here, right?
That's you there, yes.
Yeah. Oh, who's this guy next to him?
Champy there.
Okay. Well, in my age, I get confused. My eyesight isn't what it used to be.
So that was a collaboration last summer,
Yeah.
and I was surprised that you didn't have that hanging in one of your art shows.
Yeah. Well, Ruth forgets things like that, you know. She's just a kid and doesn't have memory like I.
Okay, I'll put
And
this
I-
up again here. We'll just looking at that just to.
Yeah,
make
and this
them
is,
see.
I love it when they're identified and you know who did it. And you don't
Yeah, see-
always know why, but
Yeah.
very good.
Yes,
I'm
and
very proud.
Abe wanted you to have that. The original, of course, is sitting in his bedroom, but so this is and in honor of the occasion, Abe remembered a year ago that we met in a Chinese restaurant, and just from his memory, he drew a picture of that, and he wanted to give you that today here. So
yeah.
this is the original. So bring it in here, Abe. If you
Wow.
can identify, I'm sure all those people are pretty much self-identifiable.
Me, yeah, I reckon. It doesn't look like Champion anymore.
Now that's it.
Oh, Ruth is a
Ruth?
dead ringer. Boy,
Yeah.
this guy's going to be a portrait artist. Yeah, Grandma.
And me, and I'm there. Papa's there.
Grandma, poor hair day for
Well,
Grandma.
yeah, she's in line on the buffet. That's the back of her head.
Oh, boy, you thought that up quick, didn't you?
No, I asked the artist.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah, let's just
To
turn it
think-
just for
what
a
a-
second here so that I can.
What a memory.
Yeah, so this is a year ago, June 22nd, 2010. Abe's version of the three of us, Judy, myself, and Abe, meeting Sid and Ruth in one of the Chinese restaurants. Underneath the table there, it's a rug with a decoration on it that Abe remembered. So it's some kind of a rug. It's not a person laying on the floor. It's the rug. So this is something that he's worked on every day for the past 14 months.
Right. That's great.
Now,
He must be in art school by now, isn't he?
well, he's
College?
self-taught, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Abe and Sid together are 101 years old. So that's amazing.
You had to say that on camera, didn't you? Look, is this Papa or Popo?
That's Papa.
I'll take
That's
your
me.
word for it.
So
But
we
that's
hope you'll
great.
find a prominent place in your home to display
Now-
that. You're not. I know you put up a lot of your own artwork. You're not against putting up other artists, are you?
Not this quality. I demand quality. It looks to me like he even has his insignia on his sweater or shirt. See there?
Yeah, he remembered what he was wearing and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Now one of these shoelaces came untied for me there,
Yeah.
and they're sticking straight up in the air. You must have had a lot of starch in my shoelaces. Very good.
Okay. Well, we wanted to make sure you got that and.
Yeah. I have a file of kids' artwork.
Well,
Did I miss something?
no. This should go right on the top, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Very good. What can I say?
Okay. Well.
That must have been kind of daunting to you to take that wonderful artwork and admit that it was done by somebody else.
Better than I. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we appreciate you spending a little time. We're going to spend some time here without the camera on, but we appreciate you spending a little time with us, Sid. And so you had an exhibit in Westport for a little while. That's closed up now.
Yes.
And the Essex one is still going. How long will that
This
be
is
going?
going until just a few days, I think, now, but then it'll start up early in September.
It'll start up again?
What month is it?
Every 3 weeks they change.
3 weeks, yeah. So we hope to have 3 new things in
Oh,
the next show.
so they keep you on your toes.
Well, I don't usually paint on my toes, but if you say so. I mean, after all, you got the microphone. I'll say what you want me to say.
Well, there you have it. Sid paints on his toes.
Okay.
Tiptoeing.
Yeah. Well, those shoelaces, I have to. Tiptoe. Yes.
Okay, well, we've been visiting with the. Well, you got more words to say?
Well, no, except that since you're here and you haven't seen our new interior, we just want to tell you how much we appreciate what our daughter and son-in-law and son and daughter-in-law contributed in making this place all over again new, and so we can really enjoy it.
Yeah, they redid your living room, much to your surprise.
There's one thing, that picture on Ruth's, above Ruth's head was done. That was painted by Ruth.
Oh, the little one.
Oh, the behind Ruth there, the barns and the okay,
Now,
Watercolor.
a watercolor. Okay,
now
They
we
decided
have
to like
this picture had a history to it. I did this. The two fishermen in the foreground. Then you see in the back. It seemed to me we did so much fishing that night. Almost seemed on winter days when we were out there. It was very hazy, hardly ever bright and sunny, but always hazy. So you can just barely see fishermen and shacks in the background. And but I did that's a different style than almost any of my stuff with a cartoon background. Almost always I have everything lined out in a heavy black line. And this is a little, well, like we like to say, loosey, and a little less constricted. But anyway, I always like that. And a friend, did you meet Tom Carrick today?
no, I don't believe so. No.
He's a friend of ours since for 50 years from downstate, and he loved it. He bought it and put it up in his living room at the time when he was living in Essex, and they were up here for years and years, and then we found out that Tom was moving, and he is now installed in a nice, beautiful home, composite home in Plattsburgh, and so when we noticed off, I told Judy that we had rumors of something being done here all over the winter by Laura and Tony, and so when we came, as you can imagine, we were stunned. And one of the big part of it is that picture was back and hanging because Tom and Bea were moving, and they didn't want to take one with them into a retirement home. So to our surprise, and because he had always been adamant about never loading that thing. He said, "Don't you?" I borrowed it one time to show, and I kept it in our house for a few days, maybe a week, and I never heard the last of it. He keeps stealing and so actually that was the last thing I ever thought would be hanging in my house again. But it meant a lot to him, and I appreciate it. The fishermen.
Yeah, ice fishing, and certainly you don't do any ice fishing now in South Carolina, though, do you?
No, you can. But they have. They
Even
have
here?
unusual things in terms of weather. They might not ice fish, but when everything was so hot a couple of weeks ago down south, we were worried about Brian and the family, so we called up and asked him about the awful weather, and he said, yeah, he said, it was 91 here. And then there was a pause. He said, in our swimming pool, and about 101 in the air, 91 in the swimming pool.
That's when that'll help the algae to grow.
So they may not ice fish, but they have a lot of fun the other way.
They sauna fish. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, we again appreciate you chatting with us on camera. We're gonna now shut the camera off and chat off camera, if that's
All right.
okay.
Before you turn it off,
okay.
wait a minute. We want something to say.
All right.
And get over here, Ruth, and you can add your. Anyway, we think of you a lot. We regret that we don't see you more, but not only that, we don't even, with the computer and all that, we aren't in touch as much as we were. But anyway, we want you to know that summer and especially winter. You guys are in our thoughts, and we love you guys.
And yes, we do. We enjoy your company. I'm so glad you could come down.
Okay. Well, glad we could too.
Yes.
And we like.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't trip.
I'm the one that trips.
I know one.
She's trying
one
to
day
steal
I
my
woke up,
thunder.
Once in a while, I have a little clink here, and I started walking like this, and he says, "You want my cane?" I said, "No, that's your cane."
Well, what can I say? After 52 years, some things are bound to get foggy, but
You can't share your cane. What good is 52 years of marriage, right?
well, that's right. Well, I have to say that we've been both of us very blessed to be 82 and 92.
We're not gonna say which one is which. So.
Oh, that's obvious. I'm not going to embarrass Ruth by pointing that out. Anyway, that's
This is the talker.
we haven't. I don't want to bring bad luck on, and I'm not bragging, but I haven't been overnight in the hospital in 92 years plus.
Wow.
But
You're 4 hours in the
I credit the Lord because He's just been taking care of us ever since we named His name. Anyway.
Okay. My friend and yours, Mr. Sid Couchey, and we appreciate him taking time to chat with us.